On still mornings, the village of Porlock carries a smell that doesn't belong, burning brakes drifting down from the hill above. Porlock Hill, the steepest road in Britain, a 1 in 4 gradient, 2 hairpin bends, 725 feet of climb in under a mile. Going up could break your engine, coming down could kill you. And for generations of British truckers, this was the road that separated skill from disaster. This vertical wall is a geographic inevitability, dictated by geology rather than engineering choice. Exmoor's folded sedimentary rock rises sheer from the sea, forcing any route heading west to climb a massive, unforgiving coastal escarpment. Long before rubber tyres ever met tarmac, travellers feared this brutal natural barrier. In August 1794, the poet Robert Southey travelled into this isolated pocket of Somerset, describing the raw view from the hills of Porlock as the literal end of the world. For centuries, keeping any usable track open across these high cliffs was a constant public struggle. In 1812, the Somerset Quarter Sessions levied a substantial £15 fine against the Porlock Turnpike Trust for failing to maintain a safe, passable surface on the steep ascent. Heavy horse-drawn carts repeatedly tore up the stone path, threatening the vital transport of local limestone and timber. The public road we know today formally opened on June 14, 1843. Even then, its limestone metalled and gravelled surface was a precarious compromise with the brutal terrain. The opening allowed early horse-drawn stagecoaches to establish regular services, but it did nothing to soften the actual slope. It simply laid the groundwork for a legendary motoring battleground, waiting for the heavy combustion engines of the 20th century to arrive. Today, this stretch of tarmac is officially designated as part of the A39, slicing through the cliffs of the North Somerset and Devon coast. The route is short, but defined entirely by its sheer verticality, acting as a direct but punishing link to the high moors. This is Porlock Hill, the steepest road in the United Kingdom. The official figures tell the story of this geologic barrier. Ordnance survey maps record a maximum gradient of 1 in 4, a 25% incline that forces vehicles to scale roughly 725 feet of elevation in just under a single mile. Every contour line on the map is packed tightly together, leaving no room for transition. This brutal ascent is punctuated by 2 full 180-degree hairpin bends that cling precariously to the coastal scarp. Because of this extreme geometry, the department classifies the hill as a high-risk zone. Large red warning signs at the base declare the route entirely unsuitable for heavy goods, vehicles and caravans. Nearby, advisory signs from the National Park Authority deliver a simple instruction to those on 2 wheels: cyclists dismount. These statistics and warnings are not mere highway regulations, they are the physical reality that transformed a short stretch of Somerset coastal road into an iconic British motoring landmark. For over a century, these exact dimensions have stood as a gatekeeper, demanding respect from every driver who approaches the climb. There is no room for hesitation. Before the tyres even touch the steepest gradient, the driver must select the lowest crawler gear. This is the low crawler range, where road speed drops to a walking pace, but engine torque is doubled to fight gravity pulling 20 tons backward. Once committed to the slope, stopping is out of the question. If a vehicle halts mid-climb, restarting on a 1 in 4 incline is nearly impossible. The clutch will burn or the wheels will simply spin on the damp Somerset tarmac. The upward grind is a slow, grueling test of mechanical endurance. Inside the engine bay, the punishing load pushes cooling systems to their outer limits. Water temperatures rapidly climb toward 95 degrees Celsius, bordering the dangerous red zone where engines seize. Gearboxes and clutches groan under the sustained pressure, radiating intense heat. Drivers place their faith in slow, proven power plants like the venerable Gardner diesel. These legendary British engines are trusted for their low-speed torque, but even they are pushed to the brink. Hit a corner too fast and the inner wheels lose traction. Apply too much power and the tyres slip on the slick surface, stalling the entire ascent. It is a delicate balance of patience, restraint and genuine mechanical sympathy, where a single miscalculation risks total failure on the hillside. Gravity changes the entire equation at the summit. For a heavy goods vehicle, the descent down Porlock Hill is far more treacherous than the grueling climb up. Pointing 20 tons of steel and cargo down a 25% drop turns a heavy lorry into a massive gravity-driven weapon. If a driver loses control here, the vehicle quickly becomes an unstoppable runaway. The danger lies entirely in the drum brakes. Under the immense pressure of holding back a fully loaded truck on a 1 in 4 decline, friction material heats up rapidly. Once these components surpass 350 degrees Celsius, the metal warps, the linings degrade, and the friction coefficient drops to near zero. This is brake fade. The pedal goes soft, the smell of scorching friction material fills the cab, and the service brakes simply cease to function. To survive this drop, truckers rely on an old piece of roadcraft. Gears to go, brakes to slow. This absolute rule dictates the entire descent. Before starting down, the driver shifts back into the lowest crawler gear, using the natural drag of the diesel engine to fight gravity. Drivers avoid holding the service brakes continuously. Instead, the driver uses the stab braking method, applying the brakes in short, powerful, controlled bursts right before the bends to scrub off speed, then releasing them to let the air cool the drums. A single prolonged application of the foot pedal will boil the fluid or incinerate the brake shoes, leaving the driver powerless as the heavy rig accelerates toward the bottom. Getting it wrong here means reaching the base of the hill as a runaway, with no way to stop. 2 gravel escape lanes are built into the descent of Porlock Hill. The first, located at grid reference SS 761345, begins 300 metres below the summit and runs for 45 metres. The second sits 750 metres further down at SS 759342, extending 50 metres. According to Highways England design standards, these beds of loose, angular limestone must stop a 30-ton vehicle in not much more than its own length. On October the 12th, 2015, a fully loaded refuse lorry suffered total brake fade and diverted into the second lane, stopping safely. When speed builds toward the next bend, the driver's choice is brutally simple: aim for the gravel. Recovery from the bed is a separate ordeal. For those seeking to avoid the brutal public grade, landowner Sir John Chichester opened a private toll road in 1829. Offering a gentler gradient of 1 in 14, this alternative path became the preferred choice for wise hauliers transporting heavy timber. The surrounding terrain has also driven historic feats of endurance. During a violent storm on January 13, 1899, a team of 12 men dragged a 5-ton Lynmouth lifeboat overland across the steep summit. In July 1900, driver Selwyn Edge won a £50 bet, scaling the hill in his motorcar in under 10 minutes. 16 years later, a heavy Dennis Lolene completed the first successful motor coach ascent. Today, the Porlock Museum archive preserves these milestones through original photographs and records. Today, modern engines mask the struggle, but Porlock Hill remains a monument to a tougher era. Subscribe for a new video every 3 days.